Welcome to the NeuroMasters Podcast, the place to reinvent yourself, master your mind, and change your life. Internationally recognized speaker, coach, and trainer Reg Malhotra will teach you tools to improve your mindset, change your behaviors, and let your relationships thrive. Are you ready to unlock the power of your mind? Here's your host, Reg.
We're going to move to, now that we've been clearing out some stuff, we're going to move to, you now have space available, okay? Now there is a whole bigger level to what's called detailed personal history. So we don't leave any event unaddressed specifically, but we cannot do that at this level. All we have done is we have just sent a signal and we have started to create more space in your neurology. There's a process called breakthrough. That is an 8 to 10 hour process. That is only taught and you go through it at a master's level. Now if you do that with your clients, obviously it's it still utilizes timeline therapy, but it uses more techniques like a little bit of past life. It includes the use of some other massive techniques that allow us to, for example, if your client had a chronic back pain, that'll be gone through the process of breakthrough. There's not medical advice, they will have it gone. So that's a much deeper process. Now, one of the things I was going to say about love, someone said about love, Bradley. But one thing I want to say to you guys is it's very important to realize that love is the primary emotion and that love is the most important thing and all these sort of things. But remember, and this is actually in your timeline therapy workbook, it's that important. I'm going to point you to that later. It's towards the end. One of the key things for change is getting rid of negative emotions, limiting decisions, parts integration, taking some form of action in the physical world that confirms your new identity. But the third one is enforcing your boundaries.
Would you mind repeating that when you get a chance, Reg, so I could note it? If you don't mind, please.
By the way, all three are in the timeline workbook. I'm not taking you to that exact section, so they're all documented. But I just want to bring the one of them to the surface right now. Enforcing your boundaries. It's the same as that I am probably one of the most loving guys you'll ever meet. I will give you more value than you can imagine for the price you pay. And I will continue to give you more. Now, I learned it the hard way, and this is actually part of timeline therapy, that some people started to take me for a ride. They started saying, well, Reg is loving, he's a healer, it's okay. Well, I'll just say this, I'll ask for that. And we are very, very good at NeuroMasters Academy in enforcing our boundaries. This is called enforcing boundaries. So Bradley, although you're right, love is important and you must lead with love, but you also must learn everybody should, to enforce your boundaries. Because if you know a little bit of astrology, it also comes from there. The planet of Saturn is connected to our ability to enforce our boundaries. When you're not enforcing your boundaries, you will experience all sorts of trouble. So when you take this stuff, you change, even in your personal life. If you want this change to last, one of the things you have to learn to do, because I can help you here, but I don't know what's happening in your houses, in your lives. I cannot come into your house. So you have to take responsibility. And enforcing a boundary doesn't mean just being rude to people, cutting people off. No, you have to gently make sure people understand that you have boundaries. Very important part of growth and healing. Everyone get that? Please raise your right hand. Enforcing your boundaries, right? That's an important point. So, for many of you, I think, congratulations, was it Lindy? Is Jenny here? I can't remember who it is. Oh, Brenda. Brenda, is it you? Did you enroll for Masters? Is that right? Okay. Well, congratulations. So there's a bit of a gap now between now and October. And we'll talk about this tomorrow. One of the things is that how specifically in the enforcing of boundaries idea will come in from here. Okay? And there are some tasks that I'm going to give you guys between today and Masters. It seems like a long time, but you'll be surprised how quickly it'll fly. And it is a quantum leap. And so Yeah, congratulations to Brenda. That's good. Sometimes you have to take that leap of faith. I get it. I've been there. I did not have the time. I did not have the money, but I just had to, say to myself, my auditory digital, I'll figure it out. This is my place. This is where my people are. Everything else feels right. And by the way, this is just so you know, if you want to know, if you're curious about how I make decisions, and one of the things that I realized was when I have this gauge, right? It's 6 out of 10. Because people need help. I almost feel people need some framework to make decisions. My gauge is 6 out of 10. If I'm looking at something, if I'm considering something, whether it's an action, whether it's a change, whether it's a product or a service, I'm checking inside myself, am I at least a 6 out of a 10? Now that's still leaving 4. But I gotta have some framework. And me being a Libran, there's all these suggestions fed to me that I'm indecisive. So I had to build my own framework. As long as I'm 6 out of 10, I will commit. And I will do something in the physical world that tells the universe, because the moment you make a commitment, you're giving a sign to the universe that I believe this will work and I'll make it work. Everything changes around. It's so weird. But I gotta have some gauge. For me, it's as long as it's a 6 or a 7 or something like that, 6 and above, I don't need any more ducks lined in a row. I don't have that resources at the time or that resourcefulness, but the moment I make a commitment in some way, suddenly now everything starts to shift. And by the way, not all decisions, this is another elevation of your thinking. Not all decisions will prove to be absolutely awesome in life. So you have 2 choices. You can sit there and be scared of making decisions. Nothing will move you faster in life than making decisions. You can sit there and look for security and certainty and all my ducks, and I need to know everything, even though a car that drives on a country road at night only has 200 meters of light at a time and then 200 meters more. You can do that. You don't need to see the whole staircase in order to take the first step, do you? Do you have to see the whole staircase? We don't. So you have to have some gauge. Mine is, if you wanted to know mine and model mine, or at least think about it and come up with your own, mine is 6 out of 10. I check in with my heart, my intuition, 6 out of 10. And then what I say to myself is this, I'll figure it out. The other thing that is part of this is, if your decision does not turn out to be the best decision, you must decide now that you will deal with the consequences. No point chickening out. Otherwise you'll never make. You say, well, I'll make this decision. If this turns out to be not the best decision, well, I will deal. There is something I would have learned from there, something I would have grown. And I will deal. I'm not going to go escape and hide. Oh my God, I made a wrong decision. No, look, that decision wasn't perfect. That's fine. I will deal with the consequences. Who's up for applying this in your life? This will take you so big. You know what will put you in the top 1 to 2% in the world is simply the fact that majority of the world is scared of making decisions. Start practicing with the smaller decisions as well. When you're going for a sandwich, rather than saying, which one should I have? Just go, you know what? That one looks good, ham and cheese, done. And then deal with the consequence if it turns out to be the bad decision. Then move to medium, then move to big. Keep doing that, more of that. Very, very cool. I had to train myself in all of this stuff, which I've poured hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into me. And I'm literally depends, you tell me what you want to grow in. You want to grow spiritually? You want to grow as a coach? You want to grow as a business leader? Or you want to grow as a, dare I say, lover or relationship person? You just have to know what you want. We have some pathway for you. Okay? Just know that. Know that. This is all I will say on that. It's not because we know everything, because we have invested in ourselves in a big, big way. There's a coach from the United States many years ago who I paid him $30,000 to spend 3 sessions with him. That is all. I think I made 10 times more than that. This is not taught in the system at all.
Thank you for tuning in today. Are you ready to take the next step and find out what's keeping you from reaching your goals and creating the life you want? Go to go.neuromastersacademy.com/GS-LP for a free transformational mini workshop with Reg. See you next week.